Aloha guys, welcome to John Remus TV. Looking at the background here, Waikiki, in particular Trump Tower, and a lot of interest is generated on that subject. Another subject that I think is important or relevant to people is sexual compatibility, and I like to approach it as a science. And for example, in my website, The New Relationships, I talk about various aspects of both intimate and other relationships, but in particular I have a segment where I describe the compatibility of the quote-unquote PP and VV, and that's really what it is. It's not about how big the PP is or how tight or shallow or deep the VV is. It's just about it being a good match. And as far as all these ideas, that'll be number one. Number two, these ideas of pornography and whatnot. What happens in at least some of the portrayals is that there's a compatible match. And when I say that, I'm actually referring to a specific act. It's the vaginal orgasm, and it's the A spot. And I think number three, that it's at least 4 or 5 inches, or maybe 7, 8, or even more inches within a woman's body, and that simply it's something that generates a lot of obviously ecstatic feeling sensations, but also like a wetter vagina. And there are studies that have been done on this. You can even forget about the men being involved. It's just the using of sex toys. It shows. And by the way, number 4 is that if you're have interest in a relationship and you're ready to pursue it, what you want to do is you actually want to the man and woman do some email and video chat, and they reveal to them, okay, these are the nature and dimensions of our sex organs. Will we be compatible? And maybe you're not interested in achieving the vaginal orgasm. I consider that like a positive goal, at least for humanity. And you might be number 6. You might be saying, well, what do you mean humanity? Only some people are compatible and not. Varieties of people are attracted to each other, but in particular the sex organs, only some are compatible. Well, guess what? Through being more selective about who you marry, and also having this awareness that you're going to incarnate into the future. We're all consciousness. There's nothing you can do about it, in my opinion, and as is suggested by past life regression therapy and just a general, I'd say, instinctual. We're an unlimited being. But the point being that there's a how do I say this? It's a choice. All right, it's really a choice. And if you don't like your body in this life, you're not physically attracted to yourself, or your sex organs, and you can invest in other couples, and they're having children and perpetuating their biology, their DNA, in order to achieve a certain progeny, and in turn have those children, and their grandchildren may very well be your future incarnation. And that is the reality check that we live thousands and thousands of years. And so but the thing is, in order to really have like a certain good feeling about this, I also have to address the idea or concept of penis, or perhaps vagina or breast envy, quote unquote, and make an argument that there's actually no such thing as envy. And that really what it is, if anything, this is number 7, is when people look at someone and say, oh, they have an attractive body, or characteristics or whatever, wealth, and they think that they're envious of someone. What it really is it's feeling a disapproval. It's not envy, okay? It's a disapproval of the way that person's treating their body or using it or abusing it. You know, they might use their body or wealth to take advantage of others or seduce others. And that's what I think people don't like. For example, all this, I would describe it as being cheap, superficial pornography, or whatever, mainstream pornography, as opposed to amateur pornography, where a happily married couple who respect each other and they're committed to each other, they film pornography. Then that's a more, I'd say, a more quality experience. And I'm not saying that the married couple shouldn't do different role playing and whatnot, which is fun, or pretend to be, like, for example, the wife could pretend to be a maid at a hotel, come in and to clean the room and then the husband's there pretending to be a single guest, and then the sexual scene ensues. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, when people are in public or whatever they're doing, as long as people are respectful, and I'm not saying that I'm expecting people to be whatever it is, marriage oriented or like that, but I'm saying at minimum have some respect, and don't dress too revealing, and just don't engage in too much public displays of affection, and have some respect for other people who may or may not have what you have. Some things are politically correct, like dressing well or being, but it's not politically correct to, for example, be too revealing in your actions or your discussions about certain relationship and other topics of or showcasing overly your body. I think although the VV, vagina, is actually politically correct, because most women's vaginas are they're similar to each other, so there's no variance like there is in the pee-pee or the breasts or what have you. But let's just get back to the main issue, and I'll establish a conclusion to this video, and just the point being that to stress the importance of having a good sexual experience, couples in this life or the next, and it being something where the sexual compatibility is defined by whether the vagina and penis are able to create the A-spot orgasm, the vaginal orgasm. I think that's a fun experience that people deserve to have, and that we should aim for as a quote-unquote unified consciousness or a God. We should look at society and look at people around and make a decision that, let's be more intentional and more scientific about the way we approach relationships. Like, for example, number 8. Well, that was number 8. Number 9. Make it a point to go through a certain process when you are interested in someone. By the way, if you're interested in children, you might not even want to have, you might not even want to start a relationship, or especially if you're still figuring out your career or whatnot, not just financially, but your own life, personally, what you truly want. If you haven't established all those things, then I wouldn't even recommend starting a relationship at all if you want to have children. But if you don't want to have children, then you're more perhaps available to begin a relationship, in which case you should first, if you're interested in someone, say first look at them. This is someone who you both mutually you have some mutual interests. You can see already visually, you can see they're maybe in similar health to you or similar style. And then before actually asking them for a date, here's my formula. It's like this. First ask the person, first decide on an event. that's important to you, that's like critical to you, that this person's gotta like this or otherwise I won't be interested in them. So find an event, be it a specific restaurant, specific food. Like me, I like to eat vegan food only, so that's critical for me. So I asked the person, hey, do you like vegan food? And then I would say, if you're interested in a date, let me know. Instead of saying, would you like to go on the date, puts them on the spot. Instead, I say, if you're interested in a date, let me know. And it should be some place or where you periodically see the person. You don't want to be quote unquote interested in someone generally. You don't want to be interested in someone who only is not in your area of where you want to live for the rest of your life. They should be somebody that wants to be or seems to be part of the community in wherever it is that you are. But the point being that there's a scientific approach to this, and it's not by saying that I wish I had a different body or different sex organs. It's not by saying I need to have certain types of body and sex organs in order to attract many people. That is number 10. That's actually a diluting of one's energy, and you're giving your energy to someone, your passion, your intimacy. You're giving that all to someone, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to use that energy in order to pursue their own dreams and interests instead of mutual dreams and interests that you may have. And so basically, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with science and strategy, not just emotional abstraction where I think I like a person, or this idea of, I hope this person's attracted to me. No, talk explicitly, especially using the writing format, or especially you can masturbate on video web cameras, and then the woman can it'll be obvious as to how deep the A spot is of the woman, and that's another reality to consider, that it's not just about men, whether or not they will match the woman. It's about women, whether or not they'll match the men. So flip this all into a positive thing and feel good about it. Feel good about being all that is, and feel good about knowing that you care about each other, other people in the world, want them to have quality experiences, but again, my one big one is just make it about science. Make it about, does something work or not, and what do you want exactly? Everyone advises people to go like this, that write down ideas or things that are important to you or that you want to see in someone else. Be really clear, because you'd be surprised. You might not even myself, I might not know exactly what type of body type I prefer, or what type of interests I have. I think I'm getting in that direction, but these are my thoughts. Thanks for considering. Take care.